Hello and welcome to episode 54, season 2, episode 9, to be exact, of the D Hoop University podcast. This is your host, Daryl Harris, also known as D Hoopster. This is no regular, ordinary introduction, folks. This is actually a very special occasion. The pod just had a birthday. How about that? We are celebrating 1 year of being on these airwaves since we launched this audio journey, escapade, if you will. And here we are again. This all started during the play-in of last NBA season. We are here again, which means it is time to get down to business. So, today, myself, Shiv, you know the game. Familiar faces, casual diehard style. We're here to talk some hoops in a real way. This isn't first take. This isn't first things first. This isn't undisputed. This isn't the nightcap. This is D Hoop University. Just so we're clear. Before we get into any hoops, ladies and gentlemen, there's a rap beef that is bubbling over on the internet that the gang had to get into. So we're going to do that. We got all NBA. We have play-in predictions and a little bit more in between. Without further ado, let's talk some hoops.
Because it's like what are we doing? Like what where is this coming from? Like, you're pissed over a song with like French Montana. Like, French Montana has been relevant since I was in like college, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even then, it was only because Sway Lee did his thing on that fucking song. I don't even remember what it was called. But like, Unforgettable. Was it Unforgettable?
Yeah, that's Unforgettable.
Yeah. Shout out to Mac and Cheese 3. That was definitely fire.
Yeah, you was slapping. Yeah.
But y'all know the 50 Cent meme or the little video where he's like, "What y'all niggas mad at me for?"
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking with the origin of the beef of Metro, like having this direct like energy towards Drake. It's like, since when? What problem do y'all have? Is it because he didn't do a collab tape with you? Like,
yeah, that's what I don't get the origin of the future Drake beef, because it's not, it seems like it could be over like a chick, lovely woman, respectable, respectable
working
individual.
woman.
You know what I mean? Tax just like the rest of us. Probably gets a little under the table here and there, but nothing out of the ordinary. Like, is it over a chick? Is it over the fact that like Drake didn't get on trance? Is it over the fact that Drake was like, I'm just gonna run this tape with 21? Like, I don't know.
Nah,
Whatever
man.
it was petty. I will say that.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
It's got to be petty. That's what all the signs lead towards. Like, it doesn't seem like anything serious. But there's no talk of like, we're gonna beat you up, we're gonna take your like, it's nothing like that. It just, I feel like the beef is just more, I'm that dude, I'm more flyer than you.
Yeah.
Cold open to the pod. We jumped right in. We starting with what must be addressed, and that's the rap Royal Rumble that's going on.
Yeah.
And right before we press record, is kind of saying, for one, shout out to Joe Budden. He has been on top of this. The Joe Budden pod has been immaculate for like the past 2-3 weeks. Wrote me back in for show, but he's been calling this out like literally before it even happens. But even they said it, and right before we press record, you were saying that this damn near feels fabricated. Like, and I just saw a Twitter comment for it saying, like, you know what? I got a feeling every time Drake attempts to respond, there's going to be there's scheduled responses to him to step on whatever he's trying to say. Like, this Rick Ross stuff feels like such a, all right, like, I'm waiting for Kanye to be like, oh, it's a run-in. Whose side is he on? And he's like, nah. Y'all not finna do that to Drake, okay? Like, and it's like, whoa, who knew he was finna have his back? Like, but it does feel a little funny. I feel like they're almost trying, like, not intent, maybe, who knows, but what Kendrick did, he did it with control, and it's almost like this was again like to look, numbers is sort of going down, the impressions are going down, the tour dates aren't selling as much across the board. We gotta like inject some life into the rap game again.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I mean, I think the funniest part of this whole thing is how like, and I think I say in the tweet too, like the funniest part is like where DJ Academics and like Joe Budden are like the hip hop equivalent of like Woj and Shams right now, which is like breaking news. I'm like refreshing their page every couple hours. I'm like, did I miss anything? Like, you know what I mean? Because like it's so weird because like I remember like it feels like yesterday, like Freddie Gibbs was just like beefing with academics. I think it's like back when I was living in LA. Like Freddie was like beefing with like academics or whatever. And I was like, dude, who is this like loser that just like streams on Twitch? And now like out of nowhere, like he's like the most reputable source in the game right now because he's getting like all the tracks.
I would add on to that. I remember when Drake was beefing with Meek.
Yeah.
Like I found out, kind of not found out, but I remember academics taking like a big uptick in following just because he was a dude who was riding for Drake. He had his ear to the streets, et cetera, et cetera. It seems like it's playing out all over again. I mean, beef is good for business. If we just keep it real, like beef is good for business. And that's what this is. It's a WWE play. You know, like you said, the glass might break. Kanye might come running in, give somebody a stone cold Kanye stunner. And
Bro.
I can't wait for it, man.
Bro.
I know Pusha's just itching to like just perceive something as a diss right now. I know he's just waiting.
Oh,
He's like
yeah.
a German Shepherd trapped indoors. He's just waiting for the mailman to slide the mail in the mailbox so he can just take off.
Yeah, it's hard to sort of address this because it's like it feels like we're just right, like really in the middle of what's going on here. Like, what's the end goal? Like, how does this resolve
Yeah.
with all of these kind of different moving parts? It's not like, oh, 1v1, y'all go back and forth. All right, you know what? At the end of the day, he got the upper hand. But this is not a knock on Drake. Like, it's really not. And he does this, man. I spun back Duppy. I spun back freaking Two Bird. I spun back Stay Scheming, light up with Jay-Z. Like, bro's been like, I whole tried to tell me on that old song, don't pay it no mind. I get more satisfaction than going at your head watching. Like, bro, he does this comfortably, like in the boxing ring. So it's a treat for the consumer.
Yeah.
But he makes listenable songs no matter what. So it's kind of that's the leg up in all of these beef tracks is because it's like if the Kendrick verse didn't come on a future thumper already, how much sort of noise does it really make? Who knows? You know what I mean?
He is part of the big three, though. So, I mean, you would have to consider that he would make some pretty big noise.
It would.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I would say that gives Kendrick's diss and future diss the song. So, like, that's gonna get played in the clubs. That get played when you're out. And that's what made Drake kind of have to one up on Meek. People still play back to back to this day. I don't even know what Meek's response was. Like, you know what I mean?
That joint got to be almost platinum.
Yeah.
Double platinum.
It won a Grammy, I believe.
Right. Off of this track. So like that's how they win it, I would say. But it's all entertainment, man. It's like who could produce the best product? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this might be their shot of knocking Drake off the mountaintop. And I think the powers that be probably want to see this happen. It's my little hot take.
So here's I don't really disagree because like conversations been having. Joe Budden even said this. He was like, "Look, y'all been there for 15 years.
Yeah,
bro. Somebody got to go. Like eventually, like or just change is inevitable."
How is Cole not the one that drops out of the top three though? Like, can we just like can we just entertain the idea of somebody else replacing J. Cole in the top three?
I mean, who can replace him?
Like Future? Like, why can't Future replace J. Cole?
If I gotta make I got the fresh tribal chief hoodie on. Roman's reign was for 3 years and some change. The heir to that whoever's running with the ball, like, has to be comparable. So it's like, all right, let's knock Drake off. But who's capable of like putting hip hop on their back or like having the belt right now? There's some contenders, you know what I mean? But like the way Cody was like, no, hey, men, women, and children all love Cody. Like there's you this is undeniable. Like, okay, I can see this happening. It's sort of like Lil Baby fell off, you know what I mean? Trav got haters. I rock with Trav.
Yeah.
But everybody don't rock with Trav.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My
Yeah.
ear into the streets with whoever just came out in the last couple of years. So
It's no it guy. It's no it guy right now. It's nobody who was able to take the torch and just kind of run with it. I think we are like you said, we like in the middle. We stuck in between eras. You know what I mean?
we need a Luca, we need a Shea, we need a Ja, like something like
We need a guy. Yeah, we need a
Yeah,
guy.
we need a guy. That's
We need
just
a guy.
that's just a fact, man. We have no we that's why the rap game is trash right now, even overall, because we're watching the same thing over and over. Like the main guys, like you said, have been the main guys for 15 years. Like, what's fresh? What's new? The fact that we can't even think about three to five rappers right now that's on some new fire. That says a problem. I think back to the pandemic right before that. We had Lil Baby, was hot. You know what I mean? We had other other up and coming rappers, especially regional artists. Pop Smoke was hot at that time. So
bro, Gunna, Roddy, you know what I mean? Like Playboy Cardi's underground, like his little wave, like he had momentum for sure. And he
Playboy
still
Cardi.
got the diehard fans, but it's like that's not we don't see you at the top though. Like you're gonna have a hard time winning everybody over. Or just I don't know, man. Hey, the numbers don't lie. Somebody gotta go out there and make something shake.
Yeah.
It's
I
enjoyable
mean,
though.
it is enjoyable, very enjoyable, and it's the only way to get people talking about rap because it ain't the music.
That's real. That's real. I will say, I still think the most savage thing that's come out from this whole thing was Metro carefully curating over the course of like many years a 2 album project with Future, only for like Drake to dismiss like all of that work in under like 2.5 seconds.
Like
So you
no
think that
beat.
he dismissed it?
Yeah. I think he was just like, I think that one line where he was just like, shut up and make drums was like, that was it. Like that is like all the attention you're getting from me on this topic. Like I'm
What
glad
else? What
you
else needs
keep
to be
it.
said? Do
Yeah.
your job.
Like, just,
Like
and the craziest part was he dissed Metro on his own beat on Her Loss. Do you know how insane that is? Do you know how insane that is to diss? He had to
which
send the song back. He had to send more M's back to Metro. Okay, Metro had to listen to the song again and clear it, and he dissed Metro on his own beat, bro. That's insane. Do you know how insane to me that is? That's why I also think it's kind of manufactured a little bit because
Yeah,
like unless it just completely flew over his head, like, how could you be so oblivious to something like that? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe you were just faded and you didn't notice. I don't know. Like, same.
what
Could
he say
happen.
on more ends?
I'm saying he heard it a billion times, man. He was
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you had to have
What
heard.
what he say on more ends?
It was
Hey, the summer's about to be hot though. That's a fact there.
man.
What's crazy though is like this is a conversation we all can have too because it don't change, but listening habits as we keep getting a year older each year change. So it's like when music drop, bro, you something really got to be hooking me in to even listen.
Yeah, and I'll also say artists don't roll out like they used to.
right
Like
now.
I know surprise albums are always fun, but where's the single? Can I see you doing some media?
Yes,
Breakfast
not
Club.
always effective.
Like, and I don't, yeah, unless you're Beyonce, J. Cole, somebody like that, it'll work. But nah, man, they gotta get better at rollouts, bro. People just so lazy. They just want to take the quick fix. You feel me? It's watering the music game down.
Nah, man, we gonna pivot and talk some hoops for sure, for sure.
Let's get
Um, we can sort of pick up wherever, man, because the regular season concluded today, and the initial seedings or the standings are locked in. We just got to get through this play-in tournament. We have a couple days until the play-in games do commence. Let me check when those games are happening.
Start Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yes, sir.
Bet.
Tuesday.
Bet. Man, so we're going to – oh, were you able to do an all-NBA list?
Yep,
Yeah.
I got a rep list for us. So
Bet. We'll put it together. Shiv, you got something?
Yes,
Cool.
I do.
I put one together, honestly, a week ago at least. And it's crazy because, like, you look at how the standings finally shook out. OKC took the 1 spot in the West. Pretty remarkable. But
Does
Shea
that
was already
change?
locked in on first team.
Okay, I would say, does that change anything?
Like, not really. But
Milwaukee going
at
to
the
3?
time, they slid. I think they were definitely had a grip on 2, I want to say, when I was looking at this last week. And I was like, so does much change? Well, you look at New York, they got the 2nd spot, and it's like, man, how much credit, like, can we give Jalen Brunson? Because that's pretty remarkable as well. Y'all lost Randall. Y'all played much of the year without Robinson. Y'all made moves during the season, still battle with injury. So it's like not much. Like the list that I have from last week, I don't think anything changed because of the past 7 days and how it ultimately shook out. But we'll do sort of a play-in preview because there's a lot of discourse around the play-in right now. People saying that it shouldn't be like that. That you're still rewarded. You're not rewarding the teams that took care of business the most at the top. Meaning the Knicks, you fought to the very last day. You won the game on the last day of the season. You secured the 2nd spot. Dang. Now I gotta wait and see who wins, Philly or Miami. That's not great. However, I'm not a fan of, okay, yeah, the top should get to pick and choose who they want to pick out. Because then what are we doing, bro? Stop running for matchups. Stop it. Knock it off. This ain't that. Play the team. Like, y'all getting too funky with it. But I like the play in because it does make the last month more, more interesting. So, but we don't need to tinker with it much more. I think the play-in works, and teams that are tanking can't tank as easily. But I don't think we need to mess with it much more than that. But we do have interesting matchups. The Lakers 7 and 8 spot. If we win, guess what? We get the reigning champs, who swept us. So what's our, what's the play ski? It's like, you want to run from that? You have to face them boys down the line eventually anyway. I mean, and I don't think that they would ever say we run it from that. But if you do lose, you get OKC instead. How y'all feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great as a Laker fan, as an NBA fan, basketball fan. I'm feeling happy. I'm excited going into the play-in and the playoffs. Basketball finally matters. The regular season definitely does matter, but dude, it's the playoff and play intensity is next level. And I'm a fan of the play-in. I think that it's the perfect alternative to just having the best 16 teams in the playoffs. I don't know if that'll be particularly fair, but with the play-in,
especially when there's much talents in the league, it's like, bro, 9, 10, 11 squads got hoopers. Like,
they do.
Let's make it interesting at least.
Yeah, they do. And then they get weeded out pretty quickly. It's just one game. But circling back to the Lakers and their chances, if I'm the Lakers, I'll make my point really quick here, then pass the ball to Shiv. You can't play with the basketball guys, man. You got to take advantage of this opportunity. You get the Pelicans, you blow them out today, rinse and repeat on Tuesday, right? And you'll probably face the defending champions that Saturday or Sunday. Don't play with the basketball guys. Don't lose on purpose to try to get OKC. The best chance for anyone to knock off the Nuggets is a healthy Laker team. And if I'm the Lakers, I want to get them guys now while I'm feeling good, while Murray's nursing his way back from an injury before they get rolling, and kind of get them while they're rusty because they're going to have a week off. The Lakers will be playing. That counts for something. So if I'm the Lakers, like I said, I'm going all in, Shiv, and I'm not ducking smoke from the Nuggets, man. They ain't ducking no smoke. How you feeling about it?
That can't be the mentality that you have going
Nah,
into
you
this time of the year.
cannot. No, not with a veteran team. Not like the Lakers. If you're OKC and no one's had any playoff success, you would say that. You got champs though. We got LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Like, we not ducking no
And
smoke.
yeah, bro. And I'll piggyback on that just right before, and then you got it, Shiv. But Lakers 11-3 in their last 14, 14-6 in their last 20, dating back to March 2nd. Bron post All-Star was 29-9-7. And if we get another win, say hypothetically in the playoffs, it's like, yeah, this is don't take your bumps and bruises in round 1 and round 2 to then try and face the best. This probably is your best shot. Go and get them boys. Y'all playing good ball.
Yeah. Morally against the play-in. I don't like the play-in. In general, I don't like the play-in. I think it's like the dumbest thing probably that the league could have done. I get that there's a ton of talent, but like if you didn't win in the regular season, I don't care if you were hurt. That's part of the game. I don't care if you like didn't make your trades early enough or like whatever this season is. Like there's no play-in, right? In like fantasy football. I don't get a play-in game in fantasy football. Like why should we incentivize these teams to just like kind of go 40 on the highway when the season you're supposed to be going 80 miles an hour the whole time? But it's cool for fans. Like I get it at the end of the day. And plus it gets you hyped for playoff basketball, which I completely understand at the same time. It's like the first 4 games get you
The
hyped for like
primer,
the NCAA tournament. So I get it.
appetizer.
But it's like at the same time, it's like, bro, I'm not about to turn on for like the 8th year. Like, okay, it's not 8 years of the plan. It feels like 8 years of the plan and watch Chicago in the play-in again. Like, bro, how many times do I have to see Chicago play in a freaking play-in game? Like, how many more years of this do I have to endure? Or like, how many more years do I have to watch the Lakers in a play-in game? Like, just if you didn't want to make the playoffs, it's okay. You can vacation early. You know what I mean? It's not a problem. But also on the Lakers, they've been playing great ball. So I think I agree with the point of try to get them early because that's my biggest fear as a Celtics fan too. Like we've had too much time off. I can't remember the last serious game we have played. I think it might have been in like March because we locked it up
Hey,
like through March.
are are you sweating? Are you
No, not at all.
sweating?
I am so stoked to get this series over in like 4 games. I can't wait. There's
Again,
nothing. There's no zone. There's no 1-3-1. Scott Drew's not here to run this 1-3-1 with Mark Vital. Like this is you run that 2-3 on us. We got some 7-footer that's just gonna hit midi jumpers. You could try to play us in man, but there's no Gabe Vincent to save Jason to ruin Jason Tatum's ankle this year. Like you know what I mean? Like the only way they can win this series is if they like, and this is my biggest thing with Miami and like teams like Indiana, like under the guise of culture gives them this flexibility to just play reckless, dirty basketball, which I do not enjoy in the slightest. Like, for whatever reason, they get away with holding, scratching, clawing, biting, like barking at the refs. Like they get away with X, Y, and Z. But the minute Tatum claps his hand too loud, he gets hit with a techer. God forbid he hangs on the rim when somebody's like underneath him and he gets a tech for that. But it's like it's just the administration of rules based on perception of like culture or lack of culture is like probably the dumbest thing I have to deal with as a Celtics fan every year. Like outside of like our own fans just being annoying, like it's hands down the worst thing in the world because like I shouldn't have to be worried about another team like hurting my players. I should just be worried about them out competing or out playing our players.
Man, AD got whacked in the dome on a putback dunk and almost missed what we worked the entire year for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And didn't get the call.
Dude, it's like the worst thing in the world. It's like, bro, what are we doing
But
here?
but
Like, why are we just giving
but
them
this is
handouts?
no, but this happens, and I sort of like
There
to
we
put the
go.
play in because it's variance. Yeah, it's like whatever survey happens, there's the give or take 2 or 3% per
Yeah,
error, margin of
yeah,
error.
yeah,
It's like
yeah, yeah.
throughout the year, stupid stuff happens. Refs blow games, players get technicals and do it's like you
Right.
can always reflect and be like remember last season the game the Lakers lost because Maxi Kleber hit the dagger with no time left because AD was too far helping. Every team can point back to a game or two in the season where it's like we had no business whatsoever losing that game. So the
Well,
play in is like, all right, look, you got there. We're gonna crack the door for these folks and play it out, and then we're gonna close it.
Can I even add on to that, D? We seen teams go from the plane and make deep runs though. Like if you
Facts.
back at the
Lakers
Miami,
last year.
the Lakers last year, the Miami Heat went all the way to the finals And even the Hawks, if I'm not
Eight seed.
mistaken, eight seed.
Facts.
And then the Hawks take a game off the Celtics last year too.
Like
So
two.
it's not 2 games. So it's not like these teams are coming in and getting smoked. They're
Right.
actually it's competitive basketball when they get down to it. And that just goes to the talent. But it's to each his own. I would like the regular season to matter more, but quite frankly, it's just too long for it to matter. It gives me the baseball.
Shiv, I know you're sitting atop your standings in the Eastern Conference.
The top the standings in general, just like in
with your
general,
mighty,
just in general.
with
Like
your-
this is not
with
like
your
only in
mighty-
conference.
with your mighty record. But I tell you
Can
what,
I actually just read
I tell
off
you what, bro. Y'all get Philly
4-1? Give them one. Go ahead.
6. Let's go
Philly?
6.
That goes 6.
It's going 6, and y'all.
What is Tobias Harris the next Jeffrey Jordan? Can I just read off a few regular season stats that this Celtics team put up that in comparison to NBA history, by the way? 1.22 points per possession, which is like the highest in NBA history. They hit 1,351 threes, good for second most in NBA history. Okay. They've had an NBA record 10 wire-to-wire wins in stark comparison to 1 wire-to-wire loss. There's only one game that we lost wire-to-wire. I don't remember which game that was, but I'm pretty sure I probably turned it off. The longest losing streak of the season this season, 2. We don't lose 3 in a row. We also hit the most threes this season, second most in NBA history, and we beat opponents on average by 15.22 points at home, third best in NBA history. This is like no joke.
It's been impressive. It's been mighty.
It's not like last year where there were like questions about it. It's like, no, this year, like we convincingly beat teams. And like the fact that we get to play at home is like advantageous because that's clearly where they're most comfortable. Like saw what we did to Golden State. Golden State was hot at the time. And we came in and beat the brakes off of them.
But the reason I specified Philly is because if there was a weakness, I would say it would be guarding a dominant center. Is Joel 100%? Probably not. Is he capable of averaging 27 in this series? 100%.
Definitely.
And Philly's roster is not chump.
No, they're not. They're
chump.
Not.
They got Tobias on the wing. They got Batum on the wing. They got Buddy Hield off the bench. They got Kelly Oubre on the wing. We know Maxey is going to. He's in the All NBA conversation. We'll talk about him. Lowry is not going to make life easy. You know he's playing chess for 48 minutes of how to keep the team in the game. It's not going to be slight. Mo Bamba off the bench, and it's like, at the end of the day,
it's cool.
What's y'all paint looking like? KP, we need you to do it. Al, we need you to do it.
Which he has year in and year out. If we're being honest, I think one thing we can look at some of these lower seeds and be like, listen, they got guys, which they do. To get to this point, you have to have guys, but let's not forget, like we have the 2 arguably best wings in the game right now in their prime. Jason Tatum might even be a year before his prime. Jaylen Brown, I believe, is firmly in his prime right now. He honestly, if we're being like 100%, Jaylen Brown should be first team all defense. And I'm not even gonna like switch up on that. Like he has guarded the best.
We're gonna talk about him. We're gonna talk about him all NBA. Brown earned some respect, but this is when it matters, though. Like
this is when it matters. I agree. This is when it matters. And yes, Embiid will have. I think the one thing about Philly that you can do is you could do the thing where it's like, go ahead, Embiid, go have 50. But like we're gonna make sure that Maxey doesn't get loose. We're gonna make sure Tobias doesn't get loose. And if you want to go ahead and have your 50 and lose 4-1, that's cool because we've seen that series play out with this specific team a million times. And guess what? We always end up on top, even if it takes us 7 games to do it. But I'm not worried, dude. Embiid's not like 100%. I think our guys are locked in. We could run Peyton Pritchard at Maxey for all I care. He just had 30 in like 15 days. Like we could, like you know what I mean. We got our own version of Tyrese Maxey over here. All right, like we're good. We're good. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable knowing that they have to come in here and beat us, especially knowing when the whistle gets tighter and Embiid can't go to the free throw line 100 times a game because like they're not gonna fall for that flopping bullshit. Like, dude, it's like
he tripping?
Nah, man. I mean, he got a point. Like the Sixers really don't have a chance against the Celtics, but the Celtics shouldn't just be sleeping. Shouldn't just be chilling. I mean, you said they've been shooting the most threes, making the most threes. I mean, to me, that kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, how reliant on a 3-point shot are the Celtics? And when the game gets tight, because it's gonna get tight. You might have an easy first round, but the second round is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
You feel me? What is a clutch basketball like? Now, Philly will cause matchup problems because you went off their roster, bro. They got playoff players. Kelly Oubre, playoff role player.
Vets.
Veterans, Kyle Lowry,
Vets.
the champion veteran. You got Young Bull and Maxey. I need you to get 30 every night. So, I mean, they
Yeah.
will present some
Battery all the way up.
problems. Y'all should win just based upon talent alone. But if I'm the Celtics right now, I'm using this series to focus on my clutch basketball. What is the last 5 minutes gonna look
Yeah.
like? Who's gonna have the ball?
Y'all can't
That's
be
what happened. At the
exactly.
end of the
Exactly.
yeah,
Y'all can't be looking at each other when it matters.
and you're not gonna beat
I
a
think
team.
I think like statistically the
in the
Celtics
playoffs.
are better in clutch situations under Missoula than they were Ime. But it's just because Ime was a dog that it never felt that way. Missoula's kind of like
But
a little like nerd, you know? So it
You
doesn't
but a
guys
really
tie
come
game.
up though.
yeah.
It was a little bit of a different narrative. You guys are gonna come up not being the
Yeah.
big bully #1 in the
Now it's
East.
different. I agree. I agree.
But tie
I think
game,
it's gonna be
1 point game
yeah.
is Tatum giving you a bucket.
He doesn't have to. We have 5 guys who give you a bucket.
That's the wrong answer.
I don't care if Peyton Pritchard gives a bucket. You can get Jaden Springer the bucket for all I care. But we got they're ready.
Generating a good look and getting a bucket or getting to
Yeah.
the line.
Right.
That's playoff
It's a different
basketball.
thing. It's a different thing. I agree. But also
Yeah.
like I'm cool. I'm comfortable knowing that we have a bunch of guys that could do it. It's not the Marcus Smart effect where it was like he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna take the shot. This is like I know Tatum. The one thing that I will concede on is the Tatum dribbling the clock out thing is
The real
super
thing.
annoying. It's super annoying because it's like, dude, like I get it, but like, do you have to do this right now? Like, do you have to do this right now? Like, can we just not like keep it going? But I think I don't know, man. I think the difference between this year and last year we would drop a lot of games that I felt like we just shouldn't. And this year, like even like to close out the season against Charlotte, like it was like, no, we're just gonna handle business here and like get our guys off the floor. Last year we would have probably lost to like teams like Charlotte today to like Washington or something like that. But I think it's different this year. It is different this year. And I think we're about to see that in round one, bro. Like I know, it's like this is the whole part of the play and that makes it so fun. You get to let your imagination really run wild because these guys have a chance. And it gives you that look at this 12 seed. Look at this. Look, can we create an NC State story out of these teams that technically shouldn't even be here? Right? Like maybe we can. But do I see that like
but
this
it's the
isn't this
playoffs,
isn't
man.
like UConn versus, like Grambling State. This is grown
Yeah.
men in Boston versus grown men in Philly. And like
This also isn't a 1 game matchup. This is a
yeah,
series now. Y'all aren't gonna beat folks in the submission. Yeah, cool. You beat us by 45 in game 3. Game 4 is starting 0-0.
yeah,
Vets not gonna care. The away crowd not gonna care.
yeah.
Like I'm not getting this. Teams are not gonna take disrespect like for a full series. What do you guys have the resolve to do it again? Like
Right.
time and time
I
again.
will
But
say
yeah,
though, last time this Philly team saw us in the playoffs, I think Tatum hit a corner 3 to give him 50, and he let the crowd know about it. The game before that, he had 13 in the fourth. After going like 1 of 13 throughout the entire game. So I know Philly, for all the shit they could give us about we need to be worried, I just want to bring up those 2 things. We remember very well over here. So we're excited for them or Miami or whoever it is. I don't even know who it is, whichever one of those 2 guys. We're excited to see you guys. We welcome you back with open arms. Hopefully no charges will be drawn in the first minute of the first quarter by anybody on Miami. But you never know with that team, like I said, their culture just sort of happens to have this veil effect of the griminess that they play with. So, let's get to it, see what happens.
It's crazy because my tab was open from when I made my list. Whenever, like I said, whenever a week ago it might have been.
Yeah.
Before I refreshed it, New York went from 5 to 2 in a week.
Yeah, they did.
I will say that out of the series that are locked in, because I want to get to all NBA, out of the series that are locked in, Milwaukee's on upset watch. 6-3 against Indiana. They're certainly on upset watch. In the West, I mean, you could say we got to wait and see who New York gets. 4 or 5 is not really an upset. Minnesota, Phoenix, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting.
Minnesota Phoenix will be really interesting. I think Phoenix was up like double digits on like 3 of the last like 4 games they played against them, but they somehow found a way to like botch the game, which I'm not surprised considering their 3 best players don't play defense anymore or
They play.
never play defense.
I think they played today, if I'm not
Oh, did they
mistaken.
play today too? Okay.
Yeah, and Phoenix smoked them, man. Phoenix is gonna take care of business in
They
that
might.
series.
They honestly really might take care of because I don't know if Ant can just put it up like that, but also Ant could put it up like that. So I don't know.
You
Like
could, you could.
he's a dog.
If they, well, I think Cat returned. So
Yeah.
it looks like they're going to get Cat to some extent, but it's if y'all can keep the game, out of the 100s. Like if y'all playing these fools 100 something, 100 something, I don't think y'all got the guns for that. But if y'all
Who
can
was
muck it
off?
up, foul trouble.
I mean, they
Who?
got KD, but the Timberwolves got Jaden McDaniels.
So for the Timberwolves to have a chance to really win, they have to keep the Suns under 100.
Yeah, they gotta muck it up. They gotta be defensive. You gotta get some folks in the foul trouble. You gotta, play more physical. You gotta make KD and Beal uncomfortable. If you can just keep Beal on his, if you can get bum Bradley Beal, like then it's pretty.
Yeah.
But if the game is like, oh, Beal's got 26, like I don't think y'all are hanging because who's bringing that? Michael Conley's only gonna hit so many corner threes.
I just really don't. I mean, I see it actually going. I see. If I'm being honest, I don't really see Minnesota having a chance to win. You slow the game
I
down.
kind of don't.
Nah, then you give Booker, KD, and Beal the best ISO scores in the game on one team, free reign to just get a bucket every other time. And then if you speed the game up, then you get Beal, Booker, and KD more shots, and Grayson Allen more shots. I don't really see
Happens
it.
happens every year. The team playing Gobert tries the small ball lineup to where, okay, go Rudy, who are you going to guard?
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
And cool, get your rebound. We're going to foul you. Go to the line. Like,
I mean, it could just be a case of Sacramento versus Golden State from last year, where it's like, Sac, you had a great season, but we have some adults in the room that know how to take care of things when things get dicey, and
been here
that's
before.
just sort of it. I don't know. Yeah,
Let's-
I'll argue for Minnesota's sake, just because like, why not? The Suns play no defense, and that's gonna hurt them. That's my argument. After watching 0 Suns regular season basketball games out of the 82 opportunities I've had, I've watched 0. But I know this for a fact. Any team that has Bradley Beal and Devin Booker does not play defense. I know this for a fact. I have seen Devin Booker play defense in the finals. Or I did not. I watched him try. I did watch him try for like 5 games. I know Brad doesn't play any defense. He came from Washington. They have not played defense since like the 80s. Like they have not played defense. Like John Wall played a little bit of defense, but like that was mostly chase down blocks. Like,
Yeah, the
let's,
fancy highlight stuff.
yeah.
let's get into All NBA.
Get my list.
Let's rock.
I think we got to work. So both of these are somewhat compelling. I think y'all want to go first to third or third to first.
Doing all 3 teams?
Let's go first to third.
Okay.
Around the horn, and then we'll disperse. Or we'll break down each one. Go ahead, Shiv. First team.
First team, I got a point. I got Shea. Or excuse me, sorry. I got Luka at point guard because I think Shea wins MVP and Luka gets the first team nod. I think that's what's gonna happen. So Shea probably doesn't make first team for me just because I don't know how you could throw him. You could throw him at the shooting guard. Is he a shooting guard? I don't know. I'm gonna give
For the exercise, since it's so blurry, positions aren't knocked out. Like I have
Okay.
a center on each one, but
Okay.
almost screw the like. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. If that's the case, so this is where it got complicated because I kind of want to go Shea here, but I'm also gonna give the nod to Brunson just because like New York still had a great season, even though they kind of slid at the end.
Just run the five.
I'm gonna go Luka, Brunson, JT, Jokic, and Giannis. I'm gonna go Giannis over Kawhi. I'm gonna go Giannis.
JT.
Oh,
Okay.
JT was the best player on the best team in the league. And I
Yeah.
think if you can't respect him averaging like 25 or 27, like 7 and 5 or 7 or whatever it is, like I don't know what you want from the guy, bro. Like we have a loaded team too. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have a loaded squad. Like he's still averaging like damn near 30. Like he's clearly like the engine that makes this team go. It's other guys that give it sort of it's other guys that give the knife how sharp it is, but without the knife handle, it's just a sharp blade, you know. You need something to be able to control it and run it through.
I hear you. Best player on best team. You're gonna check the box. My all NBA team looks like Luka, Shea, JT. Then I have Giannis and Yo.
Yeah.
So it's really
I got
simple
I
like
got
that.
I got the same five. Same five.
Yeah, that just seems like the right answer. I wanted to put Anthony Davis in there because of his
Bro,
defensive prowess. I was really looking
bro.
at that, but I can't take Tatum out. I can't take Yoke out, and I can't take Giannis out. So it's like, he's a sixth man, if you will. First for my first selection on my second team, but definitely AD was somebody I was looking at. I circled him and he was dominating this season. And the numbers might not
Nah.
show it, but the impact on the game and the eye test, I think that
Oh,
goes into account. He had a special season.
comparably, the numbers do show it. It wasn't a big that was consistent offensively on the boards, defensively to his output level like him.
Yeah.
Honestly, the next closest was, I mean, Embiid had a, you know, so in the exercise, what was interesting was the 65 game limit.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is, as much as bad rap as the Stars have gotten for recent years, the rule worked. Most of these guys met the 65 game mark.
Great
Uh,
rule.
yeah,
Great rule.
and it's like, oh, surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Kawhi and K and PG playing north of 70 some games. Halliburton had a bad injury midseason. Nah, I'm gonna be back. You know what I mean?
The only
I
star
think
that did it.
Zion met the limit. I want to say.
Yeah, man. I was going to add on to that. The only star that I think did not meet the limit is Kyrie Irving at 58 games. Jamal Murray 58, and then Shagun 63. Other than that, everyone.
Right.
Oh,
And Joel.
and Joel MVP and Joel too.
Right.
But most people,
I think KP. I think Porzingis just missed it, and
he wasn't gonna win nothing anyway.
wasn't going to. But right, it's like looking like as we go down, the folks that mattered, like
They
nah.
did
You know
it.
what I'm saying? Like they said, nah, I'm gonna get my 65.
Yeah, gotta
Like you
get that
said,
bread, man.
and
Yeah,
them incentives. Them
and
incentives.
Buddy Hill played 83, so he paid one extra.
You got that bonus check. You
That
got that
bonus,
free game check.
yeah, extra game check. It's a good look. But man, it's a
That's
lot of
funny.
talent around the league right now, man. It's a great time.
All right, bet. Second team. Let's just run the five, each one who we got, and then we'll talk after. Um, Go ahead,
Second.
though.
Oh, my bad.
Me, my turn. Second team. It's a little choppy, but I got Brunson. I did say I got AD. I also have LeBron as on my second team. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little
Hey,
biased.
respect.
Yeah,
Respect.
respect, man. It's the king. And then for
Man,
that
go ahead.
final spot, I don't know, man. That final spot was pretty tough for me. I don't know if I wanted to go young and go Edwards or if I'm going to go old school and go with the Kevin Durant. But I feel like it's probably Anthony Edwards if I'm being real, just because the team placement kind of taking over type of year. I think he probably get the nod to that. And this might be a hot take to say, but if you want to bump anyone off my list and put him third team, it'd probably be LeBron. I would probably say he was more so when that was hard to ID as be on the second team. But you give him a bump because of the respect, man. You can't say LeBron's third team All NBA. This doesn't roll off the
When you
tongue.
when you clip 40K in the season, and you know what I mean.
You know what I mean? And you play.
You were at 39. What's the precedent?
Yeah, man. It's special. That's special.
What's the precedent?
And what he mean to the game. You know what I mean? I know we're supposed to look at the season, but when people play LeBron, they give their best.
Facts.
So he's not going up
Wait,
against chump change.
so you said AD, Bron, and who were the last two?
I said Jalen Brunson.
Brunson.
So it would have been Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, AD, Bron,
Okay,
and I think I said
I
Anthony
got
Edwards.
you.
I
Yeah,
hope I
I
got
got
that
you.
one.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
should be
Brunson
five.
was on there and was on there. Bron, AD, and I don't know why
I
I'm blanking on it.
think that last one. If I had to put anybody on there, I guess we'll put I'm trying to think of a big
It was
maybe
tough. It was tough to split. It
Grant.
was splitting hairs
I'm not
for
really
me.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. Shiv, if you want to, I'll pass the ball, man. Take it away, my brother.
All right, I got I threw I was kind of tossing. I was trying to get spicy with the first team. And I think I threw Brunson in the first team just because I was like, Shea's gonna win or Shea's gonna win MVP and
You did this last year when you put SGA in the first team, or you put De'Aaron Fox on first team. You
yeah, I
did
did
this
put you
last
in
year trying to be
first
spicy.
team. But like realistically, Jalen Brunson's probably second team. I've got Jalen Brown second team. I don't know how you're gonna not have Jalen Brown second best player on the best team. He's like the best defense player on that team. He's like shooting career highs from three. Like he's the most versatile defender in the league, not named Anthony Davis. Like
Who else? Who
he's
else?
guarding Jokic. All right, yeah. Let me stop the glazing. I got KD, Bron, and Anthony Davis. I left Kawhi off because sure, congrats, you finally played like more than 60 games in a regular season or 65 games, but you also got a loaded squad in Westbrook. I could make the argument that Westbrook is more impactful for your team than you are, honestly, because Westbrook's probably winning six man of the year, or he should. But
I mean,
get him
so
out of here. I don't want to see Kawhi a second team. He's third team at best, bro. I don't
so
care that you showed emotion, Kawhi. I don't care that you showed emotion.
I've got. I'm surprised by this. I've got the same four as y'all. Version of it. Brunson, AD. AD was a lot for me. Second team, because like you said, bro, wasn't much comparing to what he did this year. And Jalen Brown, agreed. Phenomenal year. Two-way wing. Your team was incredible. And y'all didn't have Steph?
I didn't put Steph on there. Steph had a pretty brutal shooting stretch for like 2 or 3 weeks that
Stop
kind
it.
of fucked him up.
He also hit 4 threes for an entire month straight.
That's fine.
I mean, my
What?
only thing is though, but if we keep it real, Steph might not even be playing basketball in a week. So that's kind of where it's like that's where your third team would be like your good players on not so great teams. I think that's where
That's
your
how
third
I
player.
had him on third team.
Yeah,
No,
like
I
your
feel
first team is
that.
your undeniables. Your second team is like a mix of both, and then your third team would be like, all right, good player, bad team. At least that's how I broke down my list in my head. That's what I'm thinking.
No, I feel that, but
Curry,
I'm sorry. I'm pulling it up right now. Right now.
the Curry stats. How do you guys feel about? Do you think they
20
should release these tomorrow, or are they going to release these, or are you okay with them releasing them halfway through the playoffs? Because at times we don't hear about the awards until second round of the series. Like
Yeah. But do you mean like factoring in some of postseason play too in the decision making? Or do you mean just when it comes out?
when it comes out, because if it comes out 2 weeks from now, Curry's not playing, half these guys aren't playing. We're gonna see somebody who got snubbed and be like, bro, that dude is better than that dude. Why is he not on there? And I
Yeah.
also think that voting should go kind of, I know this might sound crazy, but based from last playoffs to kind of like now, like, you know what I mean? Just because that part shouldn't be forgotten about. Like the takeover shouldn't be forgotten about.
Yeah. Now
Um,
the postseason effect, like
It's real.
if you made a statement that was, that impactful, some of these awards need to reflect that.
absolutely.
I don't know, man. It was hard for me to not put Steph there because he was the constant, far and away.
That's right.
Since January, their second best player was Kaminga. So the fact that this team is in playoff contention and he kept them alive, this was not the Clay of old. This was not the Dre of old. This was not the bench of old. Like this was young guys following Steph's lead, and he still came out there, was 10th in the league in scoring, 26, 5 assists, a steal, and 4.8 threes a game. So it's just like sort of that was my LeBron. I could have maybe put Bron there, but I thought it was tougher to justify two Lakers on second team when they're a game apart versus okay, I got to put Steph there because he's responsible for the bulk of their success.
But
And they
like,
weren't like below 500, like
I mean, would you put Brunson in your second team, or
I had them.
you had him?
Brunson, Jaylen Brown, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, and Steph.
So you took out Braun?
Yeah, I got him third. I got him 13.
You got Braun on third team?
Y'all know me. Like, but
I
look,
thought I never heard that come out of your mouth, man. I'm just as shocked as you, shit. You got Bron on
Pretty
there.
crazy.
You have to
Dude.
clarify.
That's
bro, I
almost
wanted to.
That's pretty crazy.
But objectively, I'm like, look, bro, like we were saying, I give AD more credit for what the Lakers were this year. And we saw it in this past week or two.
Yeah.
When he's not there, we don't stand a chance, bro. When
Yeah.
Bron doesn't play, everybody else remembers that they're professional basketball players. And they're like, oh, wait, let me go get 25. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Just because the dynamic on the court is different. But if we don't get AD's 11 minutes in the first quarter, his damn near entire second half, we're shot. Like, cooked.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Hey, man, it's not bad.
No. I got, and then sorry, I'll go first then on third team. Third team. Hallie.
Bird.
Bron. I scratched off Sabonis because they're about to miss the playoffs. KD.
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi Leonard. Screw positions. I don't know who's my 5 on this team. Doesn't really matter at this point. Fifth spot is Paolo.
I was looking at Paolo Banchero too. I think it might be a little so early to crown Paolo. But he was definitely a really good candidate. I mean, they changing. We're talking about the Orlando Magic in the 5th seed. Like, we haven't talked about Orlando Magic playing quality basketball in April and May since Dwight Howard. So let's just salute one for P5, Paolo Banchero.
They had the first pick 2 years ago, and they had the 5th or 6th pick last year.
Hey, man, when you get all those lottery picks, I mean, you should do something, right?
Someone's got to hit. Like,
something got to hit, something.
But still, it don't mean 5th seed or contention a game and a half out of second. Like, play-in is more expected. So it's like, hold on, somebody's getting credit from me while we're talking Paolo. He finished the year.
D, can I ask you a question?
25th top 25 score, 22 and a half to go with 6 boards, 5 assists.
And this is like the worst we'll ever see him again because he's going to develop a 3-point shot over the summer. Like
baby Bron numbers. Baby Bron.
D, did you say KD at all?
KD third. That's why I said positions I don't really have because I had Sabonis because he would have been my 5 on here. Okay. But no. Like what he did was, he deserves his respect, bro. Triple-double threat, got a double-double, and I want to say 70 games out of the 82. And Sack is thin. Sack does not have firepower like that. It was evidence this year. That's why they fell all the way, especially once they lost Monk. But they didn't get better from last season. So the fact that they, still tangoed with the West, it was because of Sabonis, bro. Like, that was really irreplaceable. So I wanted to give him the credit. But no, I said I'm not snubbing Kawhi, KD, or Paolo. Or Bron. Or Halliburton. That was a given. Halliburton, like, if he misses no games, he would be knocking on first team's door for sure.
Third team's always tough because you have a bunch of guys who are just like in positions, like, or like standings wise, that are just like not that attractive. But you have
before I pass the rock, no Kizzy, no cap. If I was willing to put Sabonis, I would have been willing to put Wembanyama. I don't care that they stunk.
Yeah.
What is the precedent?
Yeah, I honestly thought about
and they beat good teams in 2024.
Yeah,
I watched them a lot.
They didn't beat us though.
But it's remarkable.
Such a Celtics fan thing to say. They didn't beat us though.
Nah, facts.
No, dude. I also I think
to consider it.
It is so bizarre because
3 ridiculous number of blocks and
Is he
It would be
legit
a
not a
slight
top
miss.
10 player right now? Is
No,
Wemby legitimately not a top 10 player in the league right now? Like,
it's
is that not like, how are you going to tell me
that
that
take
like, Devin Booker is better than Wemby? Like, that's not true.
right.
You know what I
The
mean?
take
Like,
sounds like hyperbolic.
it's
It's not
not.
facts. It's not facts because once we get to narrowing it down, it's like, all right, I'm picking so and so. But in my fantasy draft to start the year, I love comparing Wemby went eighth without
Like,
playing a game. And then he finished the year as the second ranked center behind Jokic. So
dude,
it's like he's
and
not top
it's
10
also
yet. He's
like,
not. We
look at
gotta
how
pump the
bummish.
brakes. He's top 20 though. He's top 20.
I mean, look at how bummish like New York was until they traded for OG. Like they were just dead in the water until OG Anunoby got there. And so it's like I get it, like we can't throw Wemby as like first or second team, but like if we're just talking strictly like individual and not like factoring in like records and stuff, like bruh, how is he like are you kidding? Like he could like legitimately like average like 5 or 6 blocks easily next year because he's only going to get quicker. He's only going to get like better, like kinesthetically in terms of just his ability to move and feel the flow of the games.
Nah, man.
And he can
Bro
pad.
was 19. He was 19 years old this year.
Dude, like he's a baby giraffe. You just wait until those legs just get a little, we get a little San Antonio barbecue in there for him, dude. It's over. It's over. Like he's gonna be nuts. Like he already is nuts. So I mean, yeah, like I flirted with the idea of throwing Wemby in the third team as well, but because I threw Paulo in there, I was like, I don't want to get too spicy, you know what I mean? We'll keep it at like 5 out of 10. I had Steph.
Run your 30, yeah.
I had Steph. I had Ant. I had Kawhi, I had Paulo, and this is where it was like I kind of want to go Sabonis. Um, kind of wanted to go Sabonis. I also kind of like wanted to lean Paul George a little bit here. I wanted to lean Tyrese as well, but like let's
So
not pretend
wait.
like
Oh man. I might have made a mistake. All right, go ahead. Wait. So who's your fifth? And then run your fifth. Run your 13.
my fifth ended up being Sabonis. But now that they might miss the playoffs, I guess that changes things. But like it was for the same reason. It was like De'Aaron Fox kind
And
of
then
had like
trying to do it positionally. Who's my big? That's why I said screw
yeah,
him.
exactly. Like who's my
That's what
big?
threw
And it
me
was
into
really
it.
just between him or like Wemby. I wasn't really about to take Lowry marketing or something like that
Right.
this year.
Bam Adebayo wasn't getting it. I apologize.
Yeah, like yeah, I'm done with the Bam discourse. I'm not entertaining it until they get bounced. And then we
Who you got third? Because I just noticed something.
Uh-oh, scared. Um, Honestly, bro, I got a guard heavy third. Maybe you guys can help me, but here it
We got to
is.
throw the positions. We got to throw the positions out.
Yeah, you do. You got to because I mean, we talking about best players, man. They
That's
guards.
basketball now. You know what
That's
I mean?
big. Somebody I feel like who should get a nod is probably Devin Booker, man. He basically switched up his position this year. He's playing point
I'm
guard.
perfect. Perfect. I'm glad you
Yeah,
went first. My funny fact: last year, Kawhi and PG had identical stat lines to end the season. This year, Kevin Durant and Paul George. I'm sorry, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, both 27 points a game, both. And then give or take, KD 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Booker 4.5 rebounds, 7 assists. And
yeah,
it's like they both average 27. So it's
yeah.
like we can't. I saw that I hadn't have book. I don't think Shiv said book. So I was like, wait a second. If none of us said book, that would be overlooked. All right, you knocked that out. Go ahead.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, so I actually got KD and Book on our third team. Curry's on that team as well. And then when it came to bigs, it's kind of I got a little perplexed. I don't know if we should give the nod to somebody like I don't know. I'm just going off like Zion or something. I don't know if he even said
Arguably, he's on my list.
yeah, he's on a short list as well, just because like what he's done as far as getting his team into a position where they're competing for a playoff spot, a team that wasn't competing for a playoff spot without him. So I think that definitely means something. And then the Clipper boys. I don't know if I want to go Kawhi, PG, just because, like you said, they identical players. You know what I mean? And I can't say one impacts one any more than the other because, I mean, for the Clippers to be who they are, they need both. So that's my little thing with that. So I guess my fifth, if I really had to go out and say it, man, no, I'm gonna ride with one of the Clipper boys. I'm gonna be a homer, and I'm just gonna take Kawhi Leonard, man. Why not?
I think Kawhi was in the driver's seat for that guard. He set the tone.
Think
If there
so?
was one, yeah, I think he was the the leader, and that's who I would nod to as well.
Yeah,
But
my
it's
own
the same, bro.
thing
If
is
they don't have Harden, they're not as successful as they are this year. But it's like if I'm giving one person to, it was
yes.
tough though.
I mean, 74 games from PG, 60, 68, I think, from Kawhi. I mean, that's kind of what I was looking at. But like I said, that fifth spot, that last spot is really up. My whole thing with my third list, I wanted to make sure Devin Booker got a nod, KD get a nod, Curry get a nod. Halliburton,
Wait, you don't got Hallie?
nah,
I didn't have Halliburton in mind either.
bro. He the assist champ. He
Whoa.
could have the assist. They're gonna be one and done to
Whoa.
PR. My thing is, Halliburton had a fire start, bro. He had a great start. He didn't finish as hot as he
He
started,
had a
dog.
he had a hamstring in like late December, January
All these dudes
that he
play.
came back from.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
feel it.
nah, I don't got him. I don't got him right there. But like I
I
said, he had
feel
a
it.
really good year. He had a great year. He opened up some eyes. And sometimes some of these guys, like a De'Aaron Fox, like you gotta do that thing 2 years in a row. If you was a small market, you gotta do it more than once. Anybody could catch lightning in the bottle 1 year. You gotta do it twice. And even when dudes trying to get their all-star nods, you gotta do it twice. Brandon Ingram had to do it 2 years in a row and then finally got one all-star. You know what I mean? So it happens. Holly, you in Indiana, smaller market. We'll see you if you do it again next year. And if you do, you'll be on this list.
They knock off Milwaukee. Does this go to your point of he's in round two, the list comes out, he's not on the list,
Yep.
and is everybody looking like, whoa,
How
bro,
he
how
not
this
on the
happen?
list. Exactly. Especially if he
But this is
has,
how it can happen because it's tough.
yeah, it is tough.
You
And
gonna
that's
you gonna leave off Booker 27 a game? Like,
pain. Come on, with 7 assists. And they might knock off the third seed in the West. So exactly. That's why they gotta release these things like leading into the playoffs, man. We can't be hearing about this after the first round. Then they make themselves look
feel
real,
that.
you
Yeah, I
know.
feel that. Yeah, yeah. Don't right. Don't make yourselves look foolish.
Yeah, man.
Hey, that's it. But I love the exercise, bro. Because like you said, Zion, for one, New Orleans, they finished what in the eighth? They finished in the seventh.
7.
Um,
But they had
it's
the
tough,
6 whole year. Weird.
right? Yeah, they kind of faded, just kind of stressed, but they've been dealing with injuries, and so it's like you look at you look at who deserves the most credit on their team. It is Zion.
It's Zion. Driver's seat.
It's
Just like the
Zion
same
this year.
thing you said with Kawhi.
Like Ingram, what he's like as confident and like in his skills as he sort of ever kind of seemed. Just like I know that I belong on the court with who the best are, and I can do my thing out there with y'all. CJ vet, I'm 30 plus. I'm here to help y'all also do this, but I'm not trying to carry y'all.
Yeah.
And it would be Zion. It's almost like, damn, I kind of want him to have it because it's like this is what we wanted from you. We wanted to see durability. We wanted to see, your health improve. And it
Winning
sort of
too.
translated. Right. And it sort of did translate. Like his rebounding numbers are always like sort of funky, but when you have a JV who only hangs around the rim and he's active wings, Murphy, and it's just that's who Zion is as a player. Like he doesn't need to be a dominant rebounder. He probably won't be. He's not like Barkley. He's not, you know what I'm saying? Some of these other fools were, but like it's still a unicorn game. And he finished the year 23, 5-5. And I would feel like he deserves a mention. They got to have an honorable mention list. Like,
That's the third team.
Straight up. He's like the honorable mention on the honorable mentions.
Nah, he's a good player though, man. Maybe not this year for the nod, but you can maybe want to argue Paolo or something like that. But it's perplexing.
yo,
Like those last 2 spots, like, do I want to go young guy, vet?
not saying he's not in this conversation. Cam Thomas averaged 22.5 this year.
Stop it.
That boy a bucket, man. Free Cam Thomas.
Cam
So some
Thomas.
other
He can go play no defense somewhere else. You know what I mean?
some other across the boards. Maxey was on my third team list. Boy put up 26 a game this year, 6 assists, 3 boards, and he lost the reigning MVP and didn't let they stunk for a couple weeks. They did. It was also a trade deadline. They had some new faces, brand new team. Still Nick Nurse's first year. But Maxey had a cold season as well on par with Halliburton, and he's not on any of our lists. Neither is Dame. I don't think it's questionable there though.
Nah, Dame had a come in a earth moment this year.
Yeah, to average 24 and 7 and 4 is like you kind of stunk, bro.
I think the funniest thing about the Dame situation was he was like so anti getting traded to Boston, and then midway through the season, in a sit down with like Malika Andrews or like Rachel Nichols or one of those like female sports reporters, he's like, where it's more like of a therapy session than it is like an actual interview. He's like, yeah, I thought we'd be doing like what Boston's doing right now, and it's like, bro, we wanted you, like we literally wanted you, and like then we saw what you started doing in Milwaukee. We're actually kind of glad like we didn't trade for you. What a joke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, actually, what a joke, dude. Like,
Stand by
I was
what
just
I
gonna say
pitched,
the
what I would have said.
craziest
Go ahead.
NBA storyline for this year for me was Adrian Griffin going like 30 and 13, and then they get Doc and he goes like 18 and 19 or whatever. It's like, what did he do? Like, what did he
And
do?
they're about to get the Doc Rivers special in round one.
Oh, bro. Just some finely curated meat, a nice little charcuterie board of just straight up L's.
Uh, uh, what was it? Yeah, nah, I think we hit the nail on that. Like, that I like how this just puts a bow on the season, sort of to be like, all right, this is who dictated the year. This is who earned their respect this year. This is who earned that bonus. We're not doing all rookie. We can do that maybe next week.
Bro,
Um,
MVP.
we're not doing.
We gonna save it.
I don't. For I think it's gonna come out. I think MVP might come out before the list and all that come out. I think that'll probably come out kind of soon. But
They don't drop that one till like that's the one they usually drop second in the second round. Conference semis.
definitely, yeah, it's definitely good that they went away from that. That after the season don't work. That league award show after that don't work
Nah,
whatsoever.
nah.
Yeah, I want to see
uh,
the guy get it, dude. Like in front of the
right.
home crowd. Like, what are we doing? Like, what
For
what is
me,
Adam Silver doing?
it's not Jokic. I think somebody else. I think that
I'm
especially now
telling
the
you,
way
it's
that
Shea,
now
dude.
grading it on the last day of the season, you didn't come out head and shoulders on top of the West. I can't really get that to you. Look at the structure that you have in place. Coach, supporting players. Everyone knows their role. The system is there. So what you did was insane again. But to get number three, you gotta throw some sauce in the game. What will be more impressive is go get your second Finals MVP. I don't. I think a third MVP right now would be a handout. I'm not a fan of that. I think that's overlooking the incredible performances by Luka and Shea.
I
I mean,
think that with them not finishing at the top of the West, it definitely changes things. And you have a compelling argument when you say that if they did finish atop the West, I don't feel like that wouldn't really be much of an argument. But I mean, Shea makes a really good point. I mean, he doesn't have any other All Stars or other NBA players on his team. His second best player is essentially a rookie. The Jalen Williams kids, they're nice players as well. But
Mm. It's a shame. Y'all aren't gonna get to hear what the rest of the bros have to say. But at that point, the recording just went crazy. So I'll just put a book in it briefly if I can. I know that's difficult. But my knock on the argument for Jokic winning MVP is that you have championship structure and DNA that has been intact on your team. So, yes, what you did again was insane statistically. There's not much of a precedent. You're forging your own path, but with context of how you won the award already, with the level of play we have seen this year, it's not head and shoulders. To me, it doesn't surpass what Luka Doncic is doing. And when you look at the Nuggets having Jamal Murray, who played 50 something games, you know who else played 50 something games? Kyrie Irving. So Luka Doncic, he put up 34, 10, and 9. It's just not normal. So, pardon me, but if I was a voter, that would really, really jump out to me. As would the case for Shea Gilgeous Alexander. So, I just think the vote should be a lot closer. A runaway to me feels like a handout because it's like you're discrediting what these boys are doing. And I said that already. So I rest my case. As always, we appreciate y'all hanging with the brother, celebrating this 1 year mark on the pod. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you are listening. We appreciate you for listening. Know that this playoff season is about to get good. Most definitely. With that being said, till next time, folks.